It was 3 months later that he came to my apartment. And at that point, I'm falling madly in love with him. And I could not contain it any longer. Like, I had to tell him what was going on in my heart. And I told him, I go, Jeff, I have to share something with you. And I said, I don't even know how to get the words out. And he goes, just tell me, And I said, oh. And so I finally did. I go, I am falling madly in love with you. And he starts crying and I'm sobbing.
Love stories fill us with joy and inspire hope for the future. And a true life romance can remind us that sometimes just one spark is all it takes to change everything. They met as summer co-workers, but the real connection happened later when Jeff was praying and asking for God to give him a wife just like Kim Begley. Well, what happened next is a must-hear story. Welcome to Unexpected Love Stories. I'm your host, Dawn Prushkovsky. Today is an extra special story because I get to introduce you to my best friend, Kim Walters. She started out as a Louisiana Southern belle, but she became a Pacific Northwest woman when her family moved to Washington State. She founded New Hope Cancer Recovery, and for years, she brought hope to hundreds of people who were fighting cancer. Kim pours her heart into serving others, and I can honestly say that she has been a constant encouragement and joy in my own life and my family's. And I know you're just going to love her story as much as I do. Welcome, Kim.
Welcome. Good to see you, Dawn.
Oh, good to see you, Kimmers. Okay, let's hear this incredible story. Take us back to the time when you first met your husband, Jeff.
Okay, so this was the summer of 1978. It was actually my second summer walking into the doors of Weyerhaeuser Company. They offered summer help for those that had parents that worked there. So I walk in and, I see a few people that I recognize, but there was this one young man that came in and didn't know who he was. And all of a sudden he's planted in front of me and we introduced each other and we started working together for the summer. And the weirdest part about this job was that we stood on a side of this table that was like only maybe 4 feet long is all. And the paper would be cut at one end, come down to us. We'd slop this glue on the sides of this cardboard box, put the lid on it, and send it down the conveyor belt. Did that all summer long. And I remember having conversations with them, but because I was in a relationship at the time, I wasn't interested. And so anyway, we got through that summer, and now it's 1979. So my little sister Carrie's going to Bible studies, and she runs into Jeff, and she comes home to tell me that Jeff was a born again Christian. I was like, what? Jeff Walters? Like, are you kidding me? Because I knew what that meant, but I was a party girl. So, but I knew what that meant. And I thought, holy smokes. Oh my word, you gotta be kidding me. So anyway, she'd come home and say, hey, Jeff says hi. And I'm like, tell him, hey, and whatever. And so then also, too, I was working at a Michael West clothing store in Longview, Washington, and he'd pop in every once in a while. I knew he wasn't interested in buying anything. It was just to say hi.
Well, was it like a women's clothing store or what?
What's that?
Was it a women's clothing store?
It was a men and women's store. So there was like a guy side.
Okay.
He's over there looking at the jeans and things like that. And I'd always ask him, do you need any help? Like I'm supposed to with everybody. So anyway,
Now, I'm sorry, was that the place where you were doing modeling?
It was, yes. Yes, it was for the junior department upstairs. Yes, I had that opportunity, which was really fun. So anyway, now it's 1980.
So,
yes, go ahead.
Okay, so all that time, Jeff is coming in and checking on you, but there's nothing inside of you that's going like, hey.
No, there wasn't.
Look at that.
There wasn't.
Okay.
I thought he was really good looking, he had a really strong physique but I wasn't interested, at the time at all. But I thought it was great that he was coming in, and I knew at the time he was a Christian when he was coming in the door and probably praying for me, of course he did. And so, so now it's the summer of 1980. And this is where my spiritual journey really started amping up because I knew that my life needed Jesus, um, in the most desperate way. And so it was September 5th of 1980. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was coming home from a party, sobbing my eyes out, bawling my eyes out. And I
What
get to
happened?
bed. What happened?
What happened? Uh-huh.
Well, it was just that when I got to the party, I went out by myself and just kind of isolated myself from everybody else, and
Mhm.
I had a few drinks and things like that. And I was just in a really low place. And so, yeah, that's why I got in my car and I just sobbed all the way home. I mean, it was by the grace of God I even got home, to tell you the truth.
Mm.
So anyway, I get myself into bed and all of a sudden my hands go up and I start praying and crying and sobbing and praying and crying and just asking Jesus for forgiveness for this and that. I thought that I had to give him the whole rollout. I didn't know you could just say, Jesus, forgive me of my sins. So at this point, I don't even know what's going on in my heart. My mom knocks on my door and I'm like, oh, I go, yeah. And she goes, what's going on in here? I hear you crying. And I said, I have been, Mom. And she goes, what's going on? And out it came. I just asked Jesus Christ into my life. And she was just like, oh, and she shuts my door really hard. I'm like, oh, no. So I lay back down. I look at my clock behind me. It's 5 in the morning. I've been praying from 2 o'clock until 5 in the morning. And
Wow.
sister, to tell you the
Mm.
truth, I I was no longer drunk. I mean, everything about me was just completely normal. Like I had so much joy, I had so much peace. I
Mm.
felt so forgiven. I mean, I was completely restored. Anyway, yeah, so that was what happened that summer for myself.
Wow. Okay, so now you are feeling different. You're
Hmm.
thinking different.
Yep.
How did I know your sister played a role in somehow bringing you and Jeff back together, or to what happened here?
Yeah, yeah. So what happened was at that time of my summer that I got saved, I was working at Safeway. And I
Mm.
saw Jeff's roommate come through, and I waved him over to my check stand. I said, "Hey," I said, "Are you and Jeff still living together?" He goes, "Yeah." And I said, I need his phone number." And he goes, "You do?" And I go, I do." I said, "I just became a Christian 3 weeks ago. I need to hear his story." Because I was shocked when I heard that he had given his life to the Lord. And so anyway, he gives me the number right away, and he kept asking me, "Are you sure you're going to call?" I said, I get off at 11. I'm going to be back at my parents' house. I'm calling as soon as I get through the door. And I did. And he answered the phone. And I said, "Hey," I said, "would you mind coming over to my parents' house so we can talk about your story and my story?" And
Mhm.
obviously he was like, "Yeah," comes over. And we're talking now till 5 in the morning, even that night. Okay. So I get saved, 2 to 5. And
Up
this
till
is
5. Yep.
5. And finally, my mom was like, "I think he needs to go home." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." Anyway, we became the best of friends after that. Like we just had a blast just being friends, going to church and playing frisbee and just yeah, it was so special, so innocent. Really, really, really,
Now
really.
at that time, had he told you anything about praying for a woman
No.
who
No.
asking God, "Hey, can I you give me a woman who's just like Kim Bagley?"
Yeah, he did not say anything like that to me. It was 3 months later that he came to my apartment. And at that point, I'm falling madly in love with him. And I could not contain it any longer. Like I had to tell him what was going on in my heart. And I told him, I go, "Jeff, I have to share something with you." And I said, "I don't even know how to get the words out." And he goes, "Just tell me. And I said, "Oh." And so I finally did. I go, "I am falling madly in love with you." And he starts crying and I'm sobbing. And he looked at me and he goes, "I just want you to know that I prayed for you for a year and a half. And here we
Wow.
are." And then, of course, I just sobbed and I cried and we hugged. And oh my word, it was the most beautiful, obviously, time for him and I because we knew it was unto
Mhm.
marriage at this point.
Mm.
Yeah, it was very special.
So how long from that point until he asked you to marry him?
Well, it was probably, I'd have to say, I think 3 months later, he asked me to marry him. So I was sharing it
Okay.
with my mom because, see, when I was a little girl, the only two things I ever wanted to be was married and be a mommy. Those were my two things. And so I was telling my mom about this, and my mom was really upset that he was just a little carpenter boy. Okay. He wasn't someone with a lot of money and this, and that. And I'm thinking, we're only in our early 20s. Like, give us a break, you know? My mom was just like that. She wanted the very best for her kids. So honestly, my mom was not in. And I told Jeff about it and I said, I'm telling you what, honey, if God can bring us together, he can change the heart of my mom. So we got on our knees every time we got together and we prayed for my mom. We prayed that God would bring her in so that she could be a part of it. And within 6 months, mom jumped on board and she was so in, like she loved him so much. And then we started wedding planning.
That's awesome. That way she was able to help you plan
Yes, and
and
that's what I
everything else.
wanted. Oh,
Mhm. I love that. Okay, so how did he ask you to marry him? And did he have a ring when he asked you?
well, he did have a ring with him. This again
Okay.
was up at my apartment. He had his own place. He was living with his roommate. And we're sitting in this little chair that I purchased, at that kind of income, it's a little hard. It took me forever to even earn money to buy it. But anyway, we're sitting in this chair and visiting and talking. And I look up on this shelf, right there in front of me. And I'm like, something's shiny up there. Like, what is that? So I got up, I got up and I grabbed it. And like, I go and I start sobbing. And I said, uh, he goes, Kim, I came and I planted that before you even got here. He goes, I just wanted you to find it. Like I knew I could get on my knee and I could, this and this and that, but I knew that I just wanted you to find it because we found each other and now
Mm-hmm.
we found ourselves in marriage. And yeah, it was unbelievable, really special.
Oh, just the way you would dream it would be?
Yes, because I like surprises.
Mm.
One of my gifts, is giving gifts and receiving. So that was right at my.
Mhm. Yep, that's
Mhm.
definitely your love
It is
language.
my love language.
Okay, so how does your sis you have 2 sisters, how do they react to,
They
you
loved
and
it.
Jeff?
They were so happy. They fell in love with Jeff right away. They loved him so much,
Oh.
and my daddy loved him so much, and my mom. Oh my gosh, Jeff could do no wrong. I mean, she
Oh.
just really embraced him. Yeah.
Oh. And how about his family embracing you?
Oh, they loved me, and I loved them too. I mean, I just became a part of the family immediately, and it was really, really nice. Yeah.
I think that's so important. Don't you think that it's important when you're getting married that your families embrace
Yeah.
the spouse to be?
Yes. Very
Because you're not just marrying each other, you're marrying into families.
right. Right. Mhm.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're engaged, you're planning your wedding. How long did you have to wait till you got married?
Well, we got married on April 3rd, 1982, so it wasn't too much longer. I mean, maybe 6 months, I think, after that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Okay, so any special memories leading up to the wedding?
a lot of the memories was with my mom, ordering things and making sure that I wanted everything this way and that way. 'Cause she had found a wedding planner to help her with the wedding, and so mom always passed this information to me. So we did work really, really well together, and it was really cool because my mom knew me so well, and so the things that she picked out, it was just like, Mom, you nailed it. Like it
Yeah.
was easy, it was perfect, and it all came together really, really, really well.
Okay, so tell us about the wedding.
Well, the wedding was at the Longview Baptist Church, and it was packed full. In fact, after we got the photos back, Jeff goes, I think those were all of your friends and family. Like, he goes, he goes, this place was packed out. That was wild. And anyway, it was beautiful. And back then, they didn't have the big receptions. I didn't even think like that. I just had it was just like little mints in the coffee and cutting of the cake and, just really, really simple, but really, really special.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. Well, I just want to invite our friends right now to come and see your wedding photos. We have Jeff and Kim's wedding photos on our website, unexpectedlovestories.com. You can just go to the link that is right down below in our episode guide, and it'll take you right to their episode page. It's beautiful. We have got lots of pictures of Jeff and Kim from the time that they met uh, through their wedding and beyond. And you're just going to love seeing all of that.
How do you know when you're falling in love? Join us for the Love Unexpected podcast. This true life romantic journey dives into the whirlwind story of how one woman's life miraculously transformed, leading her across the sea where she discovered the love she didn't expect. Listen now on your favorite podcast platform.
So, Kimmy, did you guys take a honeymoon?
We did take a honeymoon. We went to Palm Springs for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Here's the cool part. The family that I grew up with on Terry Avenue, they had a condo down there, and the parents loved me, and so they offered that to us for nothing. And we drove there. They had a station wagon with the wooden panels on it. Can't remember, there's a name for it, but we drove around.
We had a country squire, which had that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this thing was huge, but we didn't care. I mean, we just had a blast.
Mhm.
Just super, super fun. Beautiful place to be.
Oh, I love that. I know you guys go down there still
We do
frequently.
down there. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Okay, so after that, young 20-somes, life changed a lot for the two of you
Mm,
since working um, at Weyerhaeuser, which is a paper company for people who don't know,
right.
and then Safeway, and Jeff was a carpenter, and things grew for him.
Right.
Can you just kind of tell us about your journey
Yeah. So
after getting married?
after we got married, he had asked me, I think we're like maybe married like a year and a half or so. And he said, honey, he goes, what do you think
Mhm.
about me becoming a contractor? Or do you think I should go work at, Weyerhaeuser like our dads did? And I go, honey, I don't think I want you to go to the mill because I would never see you. Like the kids would never see you because
Mhm.
eventually we're going to have children. And, our both of our parents, dads worked, day shift, swing shift, and graveyard. And I said, you would make an incredible contractor, like owning your own business. I see you doing so amazingly well. And that's what he did. And it has worked out to be a dream job for our family.
Mm. Yeah, he has Cornerstone. Is it Cornerstone
Yes, construction. Yes.
Construction? Yes.
Mhm.
He makes the most amazing houses. They are gorgeous. They're all custom made
Yes.
and very high end, beautiful, beautiful homes.
Yeah.
And what else has happened in your life?
Well, let's see here. Well, we had Ryan in 1985, our first baby, and he's
Yeah.
2 months early. But that was also a really God moment for us on that journey as well. Doctors were trying to really get us worried about a lot of things, and I told the doctor, I said, I have such total peace about this. I know that we're just going to have him in Longview, and he kept pointing to Portland and all this, and I just knew things were going to be fine. And so we have Ryan, and the doctor comes in, and all he could do was smile at me and just point his finger up to Jesus, like, you're right. It was so cool. And then it took us a long while to get pregnant again. We wanted another baby.
Mhm.
And so 7 years later came our little girl, Nicole, and I was on bed rest for like 6 or 7 months. Had her 3 weeks early. She was born on May 1st. So yeah, I've got two wonderful children. Ryan is now married. He's been married for quite a while to his wife, Ashley. They've got two children, Ace and London. Ace is 7 and London is 5. And Sean and Nicole are married. They have a pup called named Scouty.
Mm, I love that. Okay, I want to hear about kind of a passion project that you had for 15 years. Because when we met, I know you were busy doing uh, New Hope,
Mm-hmm.
cancer recovery. And I think that's one of the things that just made me so amazed that um, that we were brought together because your heart was I don't know, just amazed me. Um, and I love that Jeff has supported you through doing that very hard thing. I know
Mm-hmm.
your your parents both died of colon cancer, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Just like in a short time from each other.
Right. 15 months apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you started um, reaching out to people who found out they had cancer,
Mm-hmm.
helping their families. I remember you taking people who had started chemo to get wigs
Yes.
and just being with them and not just having like group meetings, but you were taking them
Mm-hmm.
to appointments.
Yeah.
You were having them over for meals or going for coffee. You're doing you there was such a giving of your life and your heart to these
Mm-hmm.
people who needed hope, and truly it was new hope.
Yes.
um, so could you share just a little bit more about that and some of the
Yeah.
things you did?
Yeah. After my dad had passed, I knew that I was called into some kind of a ministry to be with cancer patients, and the Lord gave me the name, and I started the group in my home. That month that I started it, 5 women from the church I was attending were all diagnosed with breast cancer. So I'm like, Lord, you've got me on the right track. Like, I did not go through all of this for nothing. This is unto something so much greater. And anyway, after it grew really too large for the kitchen area and stuff like that, of course, I could have moved it elsewhere. But I asked the pastor if I could move it out to the church, and he really, really stood behind me and gave me full reign to do whatever I needed to do. So
Mm, yeah.
it's incredible.
And so I know you did some fundraisers that were really cool. I mean, they were the talk of the town
Yes.
whenever you did these fundraisers.
Oh goodness. Yes. Yes. Cruise for the Cure was a hit. I mean, I think the majority of most people know someone, family, friend that has cancer. And that car show grew so huge. I think the last show we had, because I did it for 7 years, I think we had like 300 cars that showed up. I mean, these people came from like out of town, like from all over the place. Even California, they would come up for the show. And the last show we gave away like 98 trophies. They're all custom built in Longview. People would sponsor them, and then I would allow them to give the trophy to the winner, to the car
Mhm.
winner. So that was really special. And then,
And that was like all kind of what custom cars, old cars.
yes,
What
yes. And I mean,
what with
I
the car show?
right, right. So they could bring any car. I mean, at that point, I'm thinking this is a fundraiser. I mean, there were
Mhm.
cars of every kind, even cars that weren't even finished yet, but were able to, you know, drive, whatever.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah. So I think that's why the show became so large. And then it was shortly after that I was asked to do the drag race for the Cure out in Toutle, Washington, and that was a blast. That was a blast. I didn't mind the smoke and the smell of asphalt or
Mhm.
tires burning. I loved it. I loved it so much. I was just like, it was so fun. I got in race cars with guys who wanted to take me up the track really fast. Of course, Jeff was, a little worried about that, but I mean, I put my helmet on and get in the car and come back like, could hardly even get out of these cars. So you got to get down really low and they got all these bars around you. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was quite a thing, but we had a blast. It was super.
Oh, love. Kim, I have seen Jeff stand beside you and supporting you and cheering you on, holding you, praying with you through so much. Can you just share some of the things that you've gone through that has been like it's been necessary to have a husband like that for you to make it through?
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh goodness.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a tough one.
It's okay. It's all good.
But it's all real though.
It's
It's
super real.
true.
Yeah.
It's super
So,
real.
oh my goodness. So in 2015, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is cancer of the plasma cells in your bone marrow. And that test was done because of a situation that happened that caused me to seek help. And the person that led me to this person was the one that found it. She was a naturopath in Portland. So anyway, I am so thankful for that journey, for that piece of information. So now I'm coming up 11 years in January of this next year. And at this point, it's completely dormant. It's not gone to any particular stage. No medication. I know, right? Thank you, Jesus.
Ooh.
Oh boy. So anyway, so in that same year, I was diagnosed with my first skin cancer melanoma. And that was really scary. And the surgery was rough. Then again, in 2018, I had another melanoma removed, and that was on my right thigh. And so when they got done, they wrapped this band around it. And I said, well, do I need to like put my leg up or anything? No, you can just sit however you want. Well, anyway, probably a week or two later, my calf was just killing me. And so I was like taking stuff and massaging it, and Jeff was massaging it. And so finally, I found out that looking at my calf, it had gotten quite swollen. So I called the nurse down where I had the surgery done. She said, "Get to ER now." I had a blood clot in that leg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
And you're massaging it,
and I'm
trying to get it.
massaging it. I mean, oh my word! Again, the Lord covered me. So incredible, right? So then it's now 2022, and I'm diagnosed with this swallowing condition called achalasia. Really rare. Of course, I get all of the rare stuff, and
Because you're a rare person. You're a
right.
rare gem, Kimmy. Yeah.
Oh my word. So anyway, what was happening was food and liquid was getting stuck in my esophagus, and I couldn't get it down because the sphincter doesn't work anymore. So I was regurgitating food for months and months and months. It was terrible. I sought different doctors. They thought they had certain treatments, but nothing was working. And then finally, I found a doctor that does the POEM. It's POEM in capital letters, the procedure to correct it. Well, then I had to fight with my insurance, including my doctor, to get this procedure, what's the word I want to use? Accepted or, yeah. And so finally, I get a call, and I'm in Tennessee with Jeff. We're visiting Sean and Nicole. We're in the car coming home from dinner, and I get a phone call from my doctor's nurse. And I could hear the other nurse on the other line too. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm in the car heading back from having dinner and yada, yada. And she goes, well, hey, she goes, how does surgery sound like in 2 weeks? I'm like, what? I'm screaming. The kids are screaming. We're all just rejoicing. It was so cool again, how God spread the news for me and Jeff with our kids. So good, because my kids had prayed and prayed and prayed for me. And oh my goodness. So finally, in 2023, I had the procedure done. I went from weighing like 117 pounds to 138. And I am feeling so good. Like it is It's the best feeling in the world.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did that affect, like, going through all of these health crises?
Mhm.
How did that affect your marriage?
It made us so close. Like we were already close, but it was in a different way, of course, because I needed his care, you know.
Mhm.
Um yeah, we just prayed about everything, God just gave us what we needed spiritually and physically and emotionally. We had friends praying, our children, and were just incredible. You and Vishik praying for us. And yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for my family and my friends, I couldn't have made it. And especially without my sweet, loving protector, Jeffrey,
Mhm.
would have never gotten through all that.
Mm. I love that. So, any advice that you would give someone who is longing for love and a relationship like yours?
For me, I think it's just waiting. It's waiting. I know that people find people, online and things like that, but there's something special with just praying and trusting and just waiting. And I know that waiting period's hard. Imagine Jeff waiting a year and a half.
Mhm.
I mean, he was, I think, praying for a semi truck to come and take him out. I mean, he thought it was going to be forever before I'd come around. But I really believe that people just need to trust and just hold on to their heart really, really, really close, and just let things happen as they're supposed to.
Mhm. Because you can't hurry love.
You can't. No,
No,
not.
you just have to wait.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I love, okay, so because she is my friend,
Mm.
my best friend, my Kimmykins, um, I just want to share. I love the way that Jeff talks to you
Oh.
all the time. I don't know. Do you have other people that comment about how he's like, pumpkin princess, ooh, you know, maybe, yeah. Want to get a snack lunch? Yeah, just those,
Oh, yes.
all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are treasured by him. I love it because he's very unashamed and unafraid to show his love and appreciation for you in front of anybody.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I love that.
Thank
It's a relationship that those that are looking for love need to wait for.
you. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yeah, yeah. Don't try to hurry it.
So good.
I love that. Friends, remember, love has a way of showing up between late night phone calls and answered prayers and a heart that finally says yes. If you want to hear more love stories, make sure that you follow or subscribe so that you won't miss a single episode. Every love story is different and each one is inspiring. By the way, we'd love to hear from you. So would you please leave a comment or a question and we're going to write back to you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button or the 5-star rating because it really helps more people discover these stories. And if you'd like to know more about Jeff and Kim, would you visit our website at unexpectedlovestories.com. We've got so many fun photos, and we even have a video of Jeff demonstrating an invention that he made called Power Safe. And it's for tools. I think he's got his grandkids in the video. It's really fun. So there's links there for you to contact them. You definitely want to go see. You'll see Kim as she's modeling. You'll see a young Jeff. You'll see all sorts of great photos. Well, I hope that your heart feels lighter and that you're full of hope after hearing this lovely story. Often the best love stories are the ones we never saw coming. So keep your heart open because love is truly waiting for you. We'll see you next time. Bye.